Coming up on The Experiment.
The new flavors that are coming to the Boy Scouts.
How is Harvey Weinstein doing in sex therapy?
And Donald Trump drops the mic on Eminem.
The Tim and Shani B Experiment starts now. Hi.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been. It's been a couple of weeks.
Been a couple of weeks, but it's great to be back. The Tim and Shani B Experiment.
It is great to be back. Well, what have you been up to?
What haven't I been up to?
We did a radio show Monday night here on WSB, and then we did a regular thing. We were live in McDonough, and you were live in McDonough, right? Or were you?
We were live in Smyrna.
Smyrna.
With the Herman Cain Show. You with the Von Hessler Doctrine.
Correct.
Doing the, what do you call it? The Autumn Breakfast
Tour. The Autumn Breakfast Tour. We were at Kirby G's on the square in downtown McDonough. What a very nice little town, and what a cool restaurant. We had really good breakfast there and a good turnout. That's
good. We had fun in Smyrna, which I am a resident of Smyrna, so I was really thrilled that we got to do a live show with an audience less than 2 miles from my house. It was fantastic.
I'm waiting for the breakfast tour to show up in Tucker so I can roll out of bed at 8:45. Just head over.
Keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming,
because I've seen your schedule.
Maybe we'll do it at Matthews.
Where is that, like right down the street?
Yeah, that's in Main Street. On Main Street in Tucker. It's delicious. Happy Pride Day if you're celebrating.
Is it Pride Day or is it Pride Weekend?
Well, it's Pride Weekend here in Atlanta, which means today, Saturday, and tomorrow. Tomorrow's the parade. But there were a lot of people in Piedmont Park and walking around Midtown. I took a lift over here from Mary Todd, where I worked during the day, the barbershop in Cabbagetown, and saw a ton of people. There's a lot going on today. There was also, a breast cancer awareness walk, where everybody wears the Susan G. Komen pink stuff.
Right.
And they walk around. And we were kind of held up in my lift getting over here, and I was able to take a picture of the sign I thought was the funniest.
What was this?
Save a life, grope your wife.
All right.
Yeah, I love that. She ran over the Uber driver, or the Lyft driver, I'm sorry, pulled over and waved her our way.
Oh, she ran over.
Yeah.
The Lyft driver didn't run over.
No, he didn't get out of the car.
Okay, that was.
He kind of honked the horn. She came over.
That's fantastic.
That gave me a chuckle.
Hey, Sean's first in the chat.
He is?
Yes.
What's he talking about?
He said he's first.
He's first.
Right there. You can chat with us throughout the show, and we will post your chats right here live on the Tim and Shani B Experiment. We'll interact with you live as well.
You can also call in, right?
You can. Phone number. In fact, let me unblock the phones because everybody was getting a busy signal. But the phone number is 877-310-2100. 877-310-2100. Join us live here on the Tim and Shani B Experiment. We've got all kinds of fun things to talk about today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Boy Scouts. We're going to talk about Harvey Weinstein. I wonder if he was a Boy Scout.
Well, he isn't acting like one these days, is he?
Well, it depends on the future of the Boy Scouts.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Then we're also going to talk about what? Donald Trump and Eminem.
This Eminem thing, because that was what were they doing? It was the BET. Oh, it was the Hip Hop Awards.
BET Hip Hop Awards, yeah.
Okay.
And Eminem was there, and he dropped his new freestyle.
Showing verses.
Yeah. Dropping bars.
And, Eminem hasn't really been relevant lately.
Not since 8 Mile, as far as I know.
It's been a long time since he's been out with a hit.
But then again, I grew up. I loved Eminem, and I still like all those old songs, the Marshall Mathers LP and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I think his first 3 records, because they were humorous, and they were kind of, rude and dirty.
Kind of rude.
And misogynistic and horrible. But no, I enjoyed Eminem. I still occasionally listen to that stuff, that era of stuff on Spotify. But I don't really care either way about him one way or the other.
I don't either, but it seems like, just like with the late night talk show hosts, as soon as you kind of start to get a little ordinary, you're falling off the map, you're
right.
Either not selling records or your ratings aren't real big, the thing to do is to go after Donald Trump.
Right. Do you watch Mr. Robot? Have you ever seen that show?
No.
Season 3, it's a huge hit. It's on USA Network, and Rami Malek is the star. Mm-hmm. He has won an Emmy or whatever. Anyway, the first episode of the new season 3, debuted this week, and I checked it out, and halfway through, it was this, everything's going to hell, and they were showing Trump and Congress and all the protests. And I said, oh, not this show too. But they made a point with it, so I stuck with it.
Well, I'm watching the new season of American Horror Story.
Okay, I skipped it because I thought it was going to be nothing but politics. And
That's-
I've heard that it's good though.
That's what I thought too.
And it's
it
not
had
that?
you had your Trump people that were just so excited Trump won,
Right.
and then you had the Hillary supporters that were just devastated and about to lose their minds. The theme of the season is cult.
Cult. Okay.
And so it kind of plays a little bit off the Trump cult, so to
Okay.
speak.
Okay, I get it.
But it is awesome. It is fantastic.
All
I
right.
really thought, God, please don't. I'm here to get away from politics,
Right.
And
Which is the case for anything: football, baseball, sports, television, movies. You try to get away from politics, and it seems like you cannot do that these days.
the first one to do it right will have a hit.
Excuse me. I'm an old man. What are you going to do?
Dang.
An old man with a smoker's
There's
cough.
a little bit of lung butter.
Yeah, but
I've been holding in mine. Excuse me.
Put that lung butter on your rye toast.
I'm not even smoking. Yeah, it's low calorie lung butter.
Well, you think it's what do they call that? Paleo?
The paleo diet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm more interested in the keto diet.
What's the keto diet?
That is where you get your body into ketosis.
Oh, so your body is burning fat instead of carbohydrates.
I think it's more. Yeah. Well, it's burning stored fat versus what you're eating.
And you have to pee on those little strips.
You do. You have to make sure that you're really in ketosis.
Yeah.
But the fascinating thing to me is that you get this level of clarity, like this mental clarity, once you really hit it.
Uh-huh.
I'm so curious about
And you've been doing that or no?
No.
Okay. Are you going to
Am I
start?
mentally clear?
So paleo, you won't do the keto diet, but
Yeah, the paleo diet is what a lot of the CrossFit people will do.
okay.
That's the one where you're eating deep-rooted vegetables, and you're basically eating like a caveman.
Okay.
You're going back to the
Who knows how
paleo-
they ate? They probably ate each other.
There was probably some of that. Oh, speaking of which, we're going to talk about Harvey Weinstein
Yeah.
coming up on the show today. I just thought I'd throw that in there. It was
Well,
a great opportunity.
Did he eat people? He would if he could get away with it.
Well, Angelina Jolie says he tried. You see what I did there?
Yeah,
You
I
see
see
what
what
I
you
did
did
there?
there. I see what you did there.
Oh, somebody's saying hi. If I can get my things there. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Oh, we're glad to have you. Leslie, hello. Glad you're on board.
I bet you Lisa's bummed that she wasn't first.
Oh, well, maybe next week.
So Georgia Tech, it says up there, is kicking Mark Richt's team's butt. Now, ass, whatever. Who's Mark Richt coach? Because I don't know. Miami? Let's
Mark
wait.
Richt. Oh,
He used to coach Georgia.
he used to coach Georgia. He went, I think it's Miami. He's
Okay.
he's in Florida.
He's in Florida. Well, good thing.
We're safe with that.
Good thing he's losing. I love it when Georgia Tech wins. I don't know. I don't follow college football. Go Dogs.
I don't either. I like it. Yay, whoever. Yay, whoever.
Larry Munson used to be the voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, and he did a morning feature every day on WSB where he talked about taking girls to the movies.
And it was Larry Munson inside on sports.
Larry Munson, Inside on Sports.
And then it was movies.
Movies.
The movie team.
The girls brought their boy dates to the film. Remember, he would call it boy dates. Speaking of
He
that,
did.
I'm doing Larry Munson on this season of Squidbillies, which premieres tomorrow night, Sunday night, on Adult Swim.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know what episode it is. It's Munson GPS. So I'm playing a voice for a GPS. You can get Larry Munson's voice.
That is fantastic. For GPS?
Yeah, this will be the third time I've done Munson for that show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love that show. You ever watch it?
I never get to see any Adult Swim stuff because I go to bed.
You go to bed. Well, then you have a DVR.
Oh, Miami Hurricanes.
Ain't you got a VCR?
That too. I do have a VCR. As a matter of
I
fact.
stuck with my VCR.
That's
I
the
refuse
only way to
get-
watch my movies, if you know what I mean.
I hear you. Yeah, I got a lot of classic films as well. But yeah, I transferred all my 16 millimeters to VHS back in the 90s.
You had to.
You had to.
Because-
There's no sound, but who needs sound?
Yeah, you make your own.
Yeah.
And Beta wouldn't let you do it.
Beta. I get it.
Yeah. Master.
Yeah. Anyway,
So-
speaking of Master Beta, let's talk about the Boy Scouts.
Because there's a little bit of Beta going on in the Boy Scouts. So let's talk about that. You can chat with it. By the way, once again, you can chat with us on the phone. 877-310-2100, 877-310-2100. So we got this whole Boy Scouts thing.
Right.
Big changes coming. You were a Boy Scout.
I was a Boy Scout for, I think, 3 or 4 years. I never made it past, God, what was it? Star. I made it to Star. There's, you start off as a tenderfoot. I like to think I'm still a tenderfoot. Mm-hmm. Then you have second class. Then you have first class. Then you have Star. Then you have Life. And then you have Eagle. And it's really difficult, at least it was at that time. You have to do a lot of community work to become an Eagle Scout. And I would help these guys who were trying to get their Eagle Scout, help them with all their events and stuff. You know, we went and cleaned a school, I don't know, rake leaves, and almost said the S word. Yeah, we would rake leaves and stuff.
And help little old ladies across the street.
But the fun thing about Boy Scouts was going camping. We would have, every couple of months we'd have a camp out, and you got a little patch that you could put on your uniform and then take it off when you went to the next one. And the cool thing is my dad saved all that stuff for me, and he had it framed. And one year I got it for Christmas. So I have this big framed thing with all my, merit badges and things that were left over. And there was also one event that they called Order of the Arrow, and you would get a sash for it. But it was it was team building and surviving on your own. So you would go camping the first night, the Friday night you got there. You couldn't talk, and you had to carry a stick. And if you spoke and somebody heard you speak, you would get a little notch on your stick.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and apparently, if you got too many notches, they'd kick you out. Of course, nobody got kicked out. But you were allowed to take 3 matches.
They don't beat you with it?
No.
Okay.
3 matches, and you start your own fire. And then really what you're doing is work. You're either going in the spring and putting up all the tents for summer camp, or you're going in the fall and taking them all down. And I like taking them all down because you found money that kids had dropped that summer. But anyway, the Order of the Arrow, and then you take a rock and a nail and you carve your name in it. So somewhere at Camp Brule in Pennsylvania, there's a rock with my name on it, my troop number. But it was fun, and you got a sash, and you were in the Order of the Arrow.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And now girls are going to be in the Order of the Arrow.
I guess so. The arrow is pointing them to the Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm. Now,
so I guess what the Girl Scouts have gotten boring, according to girls in the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, I believe in 2013 they changed the curriculum or the things that they do with the girls to focus more on STEM and career building and getting into careers instead of going camping and learning how to canoe and how to tie knots and going fishing. Things a lot of people, not just boys, want to do.
Mm-hmm. And so times they're a changing, and here's a good story because this gets into what the Boy Scouts are doing, and according to the people from the Boy Scouts, why they're doing it. So let's take a look at this.
After more than 100 years, you no longer have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Reason for the change is that our parents have asked for options to serve their whole family.
A unanimous decision that starting next year, girls can join Cub Scouts, but will be in girl-only dens. Girl dens in Boy Scouts start in 2019 with a path to the coveted Eagle Scout.
They will have the opportunities for an advancement track that is identical to Boy Scouting, but maintains the opportunities for them to have leadership with their own girl gender.
The move intensifying a growing feud with the Girl Scouts. In August, the Girl Scouts president sent a letter to the Boy Scouts, accusing them of a covert campaign to recruit girls away from the Girl Scouts, calling the proposed plan reckless. Today, they went even further.
I talked to the General Counsel today, and they are exploring what type of legal actions can be taken, perhaps to get them to retract their congressional charter.
The move comes with the Boy Scouts seeing a fairly steady decline in membership over the past 20 years. But for 16-year-old Sydney Ireland, it's nothing but good news.
It's indescribable how great it feels.
She's longed to be an Eagle Scout, like Neil Armstrong, Steven Spielberg, and her big brother.
Everybody should have the ability to be part of such a great organization.
Now she says she'll get her shot, and she doubts she'll be alone. Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News, New York.
You know, a while back we did a show on the radio talking about a story of a girl that wanted to join the Boy Scouts and got that was an interesting conversation from guys and girls who had been in the Scouts.
Right.
It wasn't so much that it was like some social experiment. It was more that just girls wanted to do the fun stuff.
Yeah, they want to be able to do the fun stuff. They want to be able to work toward getting that Eagle Scout badge, that level of scouting, which the Girl Scouts doesn't offer. I believe they call it the Gold Award. That's the highest you can reach in the Girl Scouts. And I had somebody explain this to me, a girl who wanted to join the Boy Scouts and couldn't, and was affiliated with Girl Scouts. Now, that news story from NBC the fact that the Girl Scouts are going to try to take a legal avenue to go after the Boy Scouts proves to me that, this is a fine thing. From my point of view, I mean, at first I had a knee-jerk reaction. It's like, this is the Boy Scouts. What is going on? But in reality, with the dwindling numbers, in order to keep the Boy Scouts afloat, take girls. But you're going to have to change the name or make it the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, but then Girl Scouts owns the name. It's ridiculous. What are they going to do?
It is.
Just call it Scouts?
Well, I thought the same thing. I thought, and here's why a lot of people had a knee-jerk reaction to it was because there was the whole issue of letting there be gay scoutmasters.
Okay.
Because there was a policy against that. And then they finally loosened up and said, fine,
Right.
If you've been through the Scouts, you have the integrity and the training. There's a whole way of being when you're a scout.
Right.
And so, you're pretty much hopefully okay. You can run the risk anytime you have kids and adults together. It doesn't matter.
You do.
But so when this happened, everybody thought it's more of that again.
Right. Or then there was also allowing transgendered kids to join the Boy Scouts. So if it was a girl who decided that she was a boy and was transgendered, that she'd be able to join or he'd be able to join. It's all confusing.
And this solves it.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter. Come as you are. Oh, we've got a call.
We do.
Let's see if they're calling in about the
Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts. 877-310-2100 is the number to call. Hello, caller. You are first up on the Tim and Shani B Experiment.
What's up, Shani?
Hey, what's up?
It's funny. Whenever you call and you answer it that way, it sounds so unbelievably automated.
What?
And I don't say that to be insulting. It's just like, it's fascinating because every time you catch me, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to go to hold, and then here you are.
I see.
Yep. I pushed the button a little early, and I keep blabbing just so okay, they picked up.
Well, how lucky for you.
And some time to turn the...
How lucky for the caller, because there's 10,000.
When are you guys going to dispense a manual?
What?
Sorry,
we
Tim,
don't
I
have a
didn't mean to
manual.
interrupt you.
Yeah, shut up. No, what it's saying
we write
is
it as we go along.
there's 10,000 calls ahead of you, and you were the one who got picked up. That's pretty amazing.
Too bad we're not giving something away.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
What is your name, by the way?
Wow, damn, dude, you're getting personal.
Well,
I can't give that away.
Make up one.
My name? Oh. Let
Be
me
like
think
a
of
traffic
good one.
trooper.
This
Be
is-
traffic. Be
No.
collar trooper.
This is Jim Swallows.
How about shut up, Tim? How about Tito Jameson?
Tito Jameson.
Junior.
Tito. There you go.
Right.
Tito.
Well,
Tito,
I'm New
were you-
Mexican and I'm Irish, so that works.
Have you ever been a Boy Scout?
We blow and yeah,
You blow?
boys.
Oh,
Shut up!
well,
It wasn't a
we
you
blow.
It was a we.
Oh,
we
let's talk about Pride
blows
then.
wobble,
Are you having a
but
good Pride weekend?
Pride Scouts.
Pride Scouts.
Let's be explorers.
It was that weird transitional point between being a Cub Scout and
And a Boy
I guess,
Scout, the
Boy
Weeblos.
Scout. Yeah.
What does that mean? It's like we be loyal scouts. That's what Weeblos means. We be
Yeah, I
loyal
knew it was
scouts.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means something. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well, this weekend they're having a jamboree in Piedmont Park, so all the gay scouts can have a sleepover in their tents.
Oh.
They'll be pitching tents
I
all.
thought they were
Pitching
having a
tents all over
jamboree in front of a
Piedmont
Starbucks in Tucker today.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
Who knows?
Oh, that's right. There were
It's a
Cub Scouts.
conspiracy.
There were Cub Scouts selling popcorn in front of the Starbucks in Tucker this morning, and I tried
There
to
were no girls.
No,
There's
but-
a problem here.
I tried to interview them for the show, and of course the Scoutmaster said, I want to be private, and I totally got that.
Yeah.
But I walked up to them, and I was, had my camera on. I said, so what are you guys selling? And all the kids went, popcorn, and the mom went, popcorn, and then I said, where are the girls? And they all looked at the ground.
Yeah, stay away from that one.
Right.
I don't know. So, Tito, what's going on this weekend? You doing anything?
Just enjoying another mile marker to death.
How old are you?
48.
48. That's 2 years from 50, man. You got plenty of years.
I know it rocks, man. I can't wait to tell people I'm 50.
You can't wait to get
And I
that
want gray
AA.
hair, and I can't grow this shit. I don't know what the hell's going on here. It's probably something in the chicken.
We don't have a dump button.
No.
Oh, damn it! I forgot. Now I'm gonna go back into the living room and get chastised
Uh-oh.
for,
Why?
and then I've created more work for Shani.
Yep. He's going to have to censor this for the podcast.
I have to remember. 20 minutes in. Okay.
20 minutes in.
Now, you're
All
fine,
right.
Tito. All right. Any parting
That's
thoughts?
it, and-
We're going to get back to
Well,
this.
yeah, the Falcons will probably lose to the Dolphins tomorrow, which
No, they will not lose to the Dolphins. Come on.
Yeah, they will. Jay Cutler's going to get on fire.
Yeah. Jay Cutler hasn't been on fire since
but that's the way it
2005.
goes in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, but Atlanta's going to beat the Dolphins. Come on.
I like your optimism, soldier.
Yes, sir.
All right,
gentlemen.
buddy. Thanks for the call,
Thank
as
you very
always.
much.
Thanks for watching.
You're
and
welcome.
Thanks
Thank you, guys.
for listening.
Yeah.
Always good to hear from him.
So we were talking about the Scouts. You had some, open mics from the
We
listeners?
did. Let's check it out because people, as soon as this news broke, people were very outspoken and champing at the bit. I learned that from Eric von Hessler.
It's champing at the bit. Don't
Not
be stupid. It's not
chomping.
chomping at
I
the bit.
Thought they chomped at the bit.
Hey, it's Eric.
They champ at the bit. People are champing at the bit to square off on it. So we have some open mics here, and what our open mics are is if you have the WSB Radio app, what you do is scroll to WSB Open Mic, tap it, and you can leave your comments. And here's what people are saying.
Bottom line, boys in the Boy Scouts, girls in the Girl Scouts.
The whole Boy Scout thing, letting girls in, is nonsense. We're letting the whiners and protesters run our society.
Is the Girl Scouts incapable of teaching whatever parents think that their daughters are going to learn in Boy Scouts?
Girls in the Boy Scouts? No, that's wrong. Girls will be girls, boys will be boys. That's the way it is. This is just stupid-ass progressivism. That's all it is. Ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. Stupid.
Does this change the name of the Boy Scouts to People Scouts? Uni Scouts?
I want to know when I'm going to be able to buy Boy Scout cookies. I'm highly offended that they don't have those.
Now, there's an important fact right there.
You know, that is an important fact right there. I was thinking about that today when I was in Cabbagetown, and I got some Cabbagetown voices. You know, see my shirt,
There you go.
Cabbagetown.
You were official, too.
And I was asking people now if, now that the girls can join the Boy Scouts, should they sell cookies? And if so, what do you recommend they be called?
Ooh, flavors. Let's see what they had to say.
Tag-alongs, of course.
Snickerdooders.
Switcheroos!
Dingalings. Chaps ahoy.
That's my favorite. Now that girls can join the Boy Scouts, what kind of cookies will they be selling?
Dosey dudes.
Nice helmet.
Dosey dudes. I like that laugh.
Dosey
too.
dudes.
Dosey dudes. Chaps ahoy. That is the best.
Chaps ahoy. And I love the little dance. Everybody was putting themselves way out there and getting into it.
That was great.
I dug
That
it.
was great. You know, people in Cabbagetown are just cool, you know.
So do you have a final thought on that or a final opinion? I'm of the opinion now, knee-jerk reaction on Facebook where, people were fighting in my thread. And I was like, it's the Boy Scouts. There should be boys. I don't care. If it saves the scouting program, which I remember fondly, then I'm all for it.
The scouting program teaches a lot of good, a lot of patriotism.
Yep.
To young people. They love it. They have a good time. And to keep it, for the sake of keeping something like that in existence, I'm all right.
Yeah, but they're going to have, segregated camping areas because the boys and the girls together.
Well, they talked about that.
Yeah.
They talked about that, keeping the den separated. But
well, once adolescence kicks in, they're all going to want to hang out together and pitch tents.
No matter what they do, they're not going to be able to stop the
No. I saw a funny meme
them
today.
earning their own merit badges.
I saw a funny meme today. I had a good time at camp. I came back a mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's just one of those things you can't control. And when you do look at it from that point of view, it kind of makes sense.
Let's see if anybody's chatting about it here. We'll take a look here. Hey, Rusty Weinberg loves that shirt, Tim.
Oh, thank you, Rusty.
$15 5-ounce bag of popcorn.
That's what the Boy Scouts sell, popcorn.
Hey, Tito, Lisa's wishing you happy birthday.
Sean or Tito was supposed to say, why is it as a society we should allow kids to determine their sexuality and gender at age 9 or 10, but they can't drink until they're 21?
Well, isn't that a good question?
Well, because you're not born with the ability to drink alcohol. You have to learn how to do it.
Yeah, you have to acquire the taste.
Yeah, and you also have to, that could be used in a lot of different things.
That could be. That sure could be. All right. If you want to chat with us, you are welcome to do so. Chat right there in the chat box on YouTube. You can also call us at 877-310-2100, 877-310-2100. What are your suggestions for flavors of Boy Scout cookies?
Yeah, let us know. It's not the only thing in the news.
You know why the Boy Scouts got in trouble, right?
Right.
They ate all the brownies.
Oh, that's an old joke. There's no brownies anymore.
They don't do brownies anymore?
I don't know.
I think they do.
They might.
I think they do.
They do.
So moving on.
Brownies better than Weeblos.
We've had some good breaking news with Hollywood mogul, big Democrat campaign contributor Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein.
He's a big dude in the industry.
Started out with Miramax.
Which I learned from you, named after his mom and dad.
Yeah, Miriam and Max.
Miriam and Max.
He and his brother Bob started the company, sold it to Disney in '93, made buku bucks, and then they started another company called the Weinstein Company. So you see that weird thing with the pyramids, and it says TWC. That's the Weinstein Company. And it seems like every 5 minutes there's a new story.
Because every 5 minutes another woman comes out saying he was making moves on me and sexually harassing me.
Pushing me around.
And all of this. And it was casting couch kind of crap.
Right. And that's been going on since Hollywood was invented.
From the beginning.
Since
they went looking for gold out west.
There are certain nuggets of this story that bother me the most. And the one that does bother me the most is the fact that NBC killed Rowan Farrow's story that he worked on for a very long time and found all these women who came forward and told him about what had happened, and NBC sat on it. In fact, they did things that don't normally happen with network news. NBC was kicking it up to their parent company, which is a cable company, and the cable company guys were saying, no, don't go with this, don't go with this. And so he gave it to the New Yorker or New York Magazine? Was it the New York?
New York Times, I think.
Yeah, but it was one of their magazines, a journalism magazine, so it might have been the...
Oh, okay.
But anyway, it was affiliated with the New York Times. And they took it, did all the vetting, and then finally put it out. And it was a very well-done story. But when you break it down, NBC did everything they could to avoid talking about Harvey Weinstein when the story broke. The day that it broke, ABC and CBS both had it as one of their top stories on their network nightly news. NBC didn't say anything at all.
Isn't that something?
And on the Today Show, the morning shows the following day, everybody did, long segments about it. NBC did a very short one about it. And on Saturday Night Live, they didn't go after him at all. And somebody went up to Lorne Michaels and said, "Why didn't you talk about it?" He goes, "It's a New York thing. It's a New York thing. Nobody cares."
If Harvey Weinstein was a Republican donor,
Oh, yeah, God, yeah, it would have been everywhere.
God. So that's what's kind of interesting here. The other thing, too, is Hollywood, liberal types, everybody in Tinseltown, they're all pushing feminism.
Feminism?
And women's rights. And men being feminists.
Right.
And equal pay for women. They were all supporting Hillary, and Hillary was going to make the oceans part. And
hashtag resist.
Hashtag resist. But it was all about women. And so that was the thing. They were front and center for women. But then once the cameras were off and when nobody was looking, they were just...
Men being men.
Men being dirty men.
Right, men being dirty men. And Harvey Weinstein bought as many of those pink hats he could find, laid them all on his bed and rolled around in them.
Oh, boy. So, so he's doing what, as you said.
But this Ronan...
Did you mention the fact that he is out now?
He's out, but one more thing about Ronan Farrow. Ronan Farrow is the son of Mia Farrow, the actress, and Woody Allen. And his name was, what was it, Satchel or something? Years ago. Yeah, it was Satchel. That was his name, Satchel Allen. And, of course, it was changed because he doesn't like his father, because his father was a pig. Woody had his issues. But he was shut down by NBC, which kind of lends truth to Trump's attacks on NBC about them being fake news.
Absolutely. We've had more of that over the course of the week. What did NBC do? Oh, they came up with the story that Donald Trump wanted to increase the nuclear arsenal tenfold.
Right.
And he says, no. I think you have to move your mic a little bit. Because I think we have an interview. I believe we do. Behind the scenes, I'm trying to fix a camera. Okay.
We make the gravy.
Well, I'm making gravy. How did this get all screwed up?
You touched it.
That's why. Oh, Lord. I think Harvey's looking like he had a sunburn. All right.
I went down on Cher.
Should I just show the sausage being made or what?
I don't care.
Is it really going to look like this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well. Joining us live on the Tim and Shaney B experiment.
What?
Well, this looks like crap. What the hell happened?
What's your problem?
Wow, you must have been kissing a lot of women.
I have been very, very busy. Is there a microphone around here? I don't hear myself.
You have been.
This is very difficult.
This is very difficult. Let me see if I can fix you because and me. And
I should be fixed.
Everybody, but
fix me. Then I won't. Stop me before I molest again.
We're going to. Oh, please don't do that. Please don't do that. We are going to go. We are live to Phoenix because you, Mr. Weinstein, are in Phoenix.
What does my mouth look like? Ready? Guess.
Well, it looks like a bunghole.
Yeah, call me Goatsy.
Is that what you were going for?
Yeah, call me Goatsy.
Sorry to be a little crude. I try to be a very professional interviewer here on the Tim and Shaney B experiment.
Yeah, that's cool.
So anyway, what's going on here? You are in sex therapy.
Right.
Which I think is so honorable and noble. Oh, this is getting a little better.
I'm fading.
Oh, my God. By the way, I don't have some of the lights in our remote studio where you are gracious enough to step away from your sex therapy meetings. We're just going to go with that.
I got itchy lips.
You do have itchy lips.
Excuse me, I got to itch my lip.
Oh, God, that's so much better. I was squatting.
So we got an interview going on here, right?
Yes, we do. Mr. Weinstein, you are in Phoenix where there is sex therapy going on.
That lots of therapy.
I believe that there's equestrian type treatment. That there's
we ride
yoga
horses. We ride horses.
Meditation. So let's talk about riding horses because I hear in the news, except for NBC, that you've got a little bit of practice with this ride the horsey thing.
Yeah. I got a lot of practice with riding horses. See, I root for the underdog. I've always rooted for the underdog. Ever since I was a little kid in Buffalo, I rooted for the underdog. Like the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row, and it's pretty sad. So they're still the underdogs. I root for the underdog, you know. Right now I'm rooting for myself because I'm an underdog. And, let me just say this. I committed horrible, heinous acts against a lot of these actresses, and it's because I'm sick. I have a sex addiction. I'm addicted to sex.
So far, more than 20 allegations.
Allegations. I did it. I'm going to admit to doing it, and then I'm going to make a movie about it, and put George Clooney in it to play me, fatten him up a little, give him some pockmarks, and
I think he needs the money.
He needs the money. Of course he is, because his career is going to be ruined because he looked at a chick wrong once, and so far, as long as I've been here 3 days, I've only assaulted 3 nurses.
Well, it sounds like you're making progress. Mm-hmm. You're making progress. And you root for the underdog or the underpants or whatever you do.
Right. And let me tell you this, all these allegations coming out. I heard Tilda Swinton came out. You know the actress Tilda Swinton?
I don't recall offhand.
Google it if you don't know her.
Tilda Swinton?
Tilda Swinton, yeah. No, I never touched her. I mean, look at her. No, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. These are
that's a woman?
Now look at you being insensitive. See, this is why the way that you think is why we need equality. And I feel bad for what I did to women. I feel bad for what I did to all those actresses. But she's not my type. But a lot of these are baseless allegations. I'm just sick.
So part of your therapy, we talked a little bit about the horsey thing.
Yeah.
It includes meditation. Right. I would like to know, Mr. Harvey Weinstein, what do you meditate on?
What, we want to know my mantra?
Yes, please.
All right, hang on a second. It's
I know you're still new to your program.
Namaste. Boy, I wish I could bang that nurse. Boy, that doctor's hot. Hey, what do you want? You want to be in a movie? You want to be in a movie? You got any plans?
I think you might want to work with your counselor on that.
Yeah, my counselor, she's hot as hell.
No.
You should see her.
Oh.
God, she looks like Faye Dunaway.
Oh, God, don't tell me that your nurses and doctors there in sex therapy are wearing those nurses' outfits.
Oh, yeah, the little candy stripers. That's some good stuff.
Oh, that wouldn't be good. Let's talk about yoga. Let's talk
Yoga?
about yoga because yoga, I guess, will help with your sex addiction. I quite don't understand how these things.
I've been doing tantric yoga.
But
I've been.
What's your favorite position?
The one where I get my yoni touched.
Your yoni.
And my sacred spot.
Your secret spot.
My yoni and my sacred spot. Touch my yoni, I say to the practitioner.
Well, aren't you supposed to touch your yoni?
No. I'm paying. They can touch my yoni.
But Mr. Weinstein, it might be good if you touch your own yoni from now on.
Oh, yeah. I opened up in therapy. I have a lot of problems. I have a sickness. It's called sex addiction. If you look it up, it's DSMR. They say it's a real thing. And I have it. I always wanted to make love to Marilyn Monroe. So one night, I paid off the cemetery guard, snuck into her mausoleum.
Oh, Mr. Weinstein.
And did.
Oh, Mr. Weinstein. That's...
Yeah. You can't say that you... Look, I'm in the league.
Isn't that necrophilia?
Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? Right here, Marilyn.
Oh my God. This is highly immoral, sir.
This is taking a dark turn. I'm really working on my sickness, my problem, my sex addiction. It's a 12-step program. I was making a joke in therapy that I said it's a 12-inch program.
It should be a 69-step program.
69 steps?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's favorite number, right?
Well, yeah. Nobody complains about 69.
Can you believe what Ben Affleck did?
Oh, Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, it's his fault. He's the one who said, he's good looking. And he would go out and get these ladies and paw them and bring them around. Ben Affleck is disgusting, and I hope he apologizes on Twitter again.
Well, maybe he'll join you in Phoenix there for some sex therapy.
We're opening a wing for every straight male actor in the last 30 years. George Clooney, I'm looking at you.
So Macaulay Culkin won't be there?
Definitely not.
Oh, okay. Well, anything that I have not asked you, I try to do hard-hitting, compelling interviews that the mainstream media won't cover.
Right.
We've talked about horsies and yoga and your Yoshi or whatever.
You ever ridden bareback?
You going to ride bareback?
I ride bareback all the time. I don't wrap it.
Oh, but you got to protect your horse.
Yeah, well, I'm rich. I got doctors. Let me tell you this, Shaney B.
Yes.
And whoever the other guy is, I'll be back.
His name is Tim.
I know I've been fired. I know that my brother runs the company now, and that the shares of stock are going into the crapper. But we'll be back. Don't you worry. I'll be contrite. I'll say I'm sorry. I won't molest anybody anymore. I'll talk my wife into coming back. And if you're a young actress, you don't need to fear Harvey Weinstein moving forward.
Will you continue to donate to Democratic causes? They've all returned your money.
Well,
some have.
Of course I will, because I can't believe we have such a misogynistic pig in the White House. Can you believe that, man? He said on a tape, when he didn't know he was being recorded, that you can reach out and grab women by the privates. The difference between me and Donald Trump is he says it, I do it.
That's true. You do have integrity in that department.
Exactly.
Harvey Weinstein, I can't thank you enough for taking your time to join us. Sorry about our little bit of a problem with our satellite feed.
Thanks for fixing my lips.
You got to have good lips because apparently you use them a lot.
That's right. Hey, I root for the underdog.
Oh, right.
And you're the underdog.
To stay out of my underpants.
You know why I like underdog?
Oh, why?
Because if he wins, I get Paulie Purebred.
That's it. All right. That's Harvey Weinstein, ladies and gentlemen, on the Tim and Shaney B Experiment. Thank you so much. Wow. He sounds like he's making some progress, Tim, but still has a little ways to go, I think.
Gosh, I wish I could have asked him some questions, because I had some hard-hitting questions for the young man.
Oh, did you?
No, not really.
We should have opened up the phone. I need to think to do that. 877-310-2100, and let people call in and ask our esteemed guests questions. I am told now that whenever we book anything with the White House, the bottom could fall out before it even happens.
Well,
we're rumored to have Donald Trump on the program today.
Well, I'm glad that he's not on yet, because I wanted to get to this other stuff, all this sex stuff coming out, all this misogyny.
Mentioned Ben Affleck.
He did. Ben Affleck. He didn't mention another guy, but he did mention Ben Affleck.
Yeah, some videos have surfaced.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Ben Affleck, with questionable behavior.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'm warning you about today's episode of Box Office. It gets pretty wild and crazy. Anyways, we start with Ben Affleck, whom I recently met on a Sunday morning. You'll be able to see him soon in his upcoming movie, Jersey Girl.
I like the perfume. They like this at the station. They would like it better if you did the show topless at the station, wouldn't they? Because that's sort of the idea, right? Here we go. Come on. Oh, let's do it. If we can do the interview like this.
You're really sweet.
That's a lovely perfume you have on. What's the story?
What do you mean? Usually ice cream?
No, usually.
Tim, is this acceptable behavior?
Intoxicating.
If you're Ben Affleck, yes. If you're Harvey Weinstein, no.
What's the story? Why are you covering it up today?
Look how handsome I am. I can touch anybody I want. I'm Ben Affleck. I won an Oscar.
What are you trying to fool?
I'm going to touch you.
Okay. In church, you usually have that rack on the
She's
display.
not exactly saying,
deacon.
no,
Right?
please
Right?
stop.
That's how it goes. Right?
I feel like a victim.
Yeah.
And usually it's a bikini and the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, he's probably got a
You should
ro-
work
yeah,
at
never
Fox
mind.
here in L.A. You'd blend right in. They would love you. They do that. Fox
He's
LA,
drunk.
they have a
Obviously,
pole
he's drunk.
that they,
He
dance on.
kind of is. Do we need to keep watching?
No, we don't need to keep watching.
Okay, thank you.
He's drunk. He's acting inappropriately, and she's in a weird position because it's probably live or being recorded live. And, yeah, that's all around just creepiness. I don't dig that.
She's thinking to herself, I love my job.
Yeah, Ben Affleck is pawing me.
And he sounded like Pepe Le Pew.
Now, is he still married to Jennifer Garner that you know of?
I don't know. That kind of stuff, I couldn't care less. Because if they were married, they're probably not now.
No. I know that he was messing around with hookers in Canada, and that's what led to their split up. But obviously, he's rich, he's extremely good looking, and he can have women left and right. Why does he have to do that? I don't understand.
I don't.
That's the thing about all these guys is they all live in L.A. They can get prostitutes to sign these non-disclosure agreements or NDAs. Why don't they just do that? Is it because it's not fun or because it's a simple solution and they enjoy the hunt? I don't understand it.
I don't know either. I mean,
Charlie Sheen is a pig, but he always went with porn stars and hookers, and he paid them, winning.
And they probably gave him good drugs, too.
Not in his defense, but he, at least he kept it away from other people.
So we had Ben Affleck there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as of late, as CNN calls him, Jimmy Kimmel has become the conscience of America.
Yes, he is the conscience of America.
He's gone
Crying.
from funny man to boo-hooing on stage about Trump, about Las Vegas, which, okay, yes, Las Vegas was a horrible thing.
Right.
Boo-hooing about health care, and just on and on and on. And it's, look, we're tuning in to laugh.
Right.
We want to hear something funny, but not so much these days. He's been a big crybaby, big boo-hooer. I'm sure he wouldn't treat women or degrade women in any way, Tim.
I wouldn't imagine so.
I've stuffed something in my pants, and you're allowed to feel around on the outside of the pants. You have 10 seconds to then guess what is in my pants. You should use two hands. Two hands. You've done this before, haven't you? Maybe it would be easier if
Get me
you put
away
your
from
mouth
there.
on it. How old are you?
18.
Okay, good. You sure of that? Because Uncle Jimmy doesn't need to do time. You're gonna make a fine wife. I think I wore the rubber underpants. And your guess is?
Vibrator?
A vibrator? No, it is actually a zucchini with a rubber band on it. But you can use it as a vibrator if you want. Look.
There you go. There you have it.
Now, was that from his ABC nightly show?
I believe that's from his days in The Man Show. I totally forgot he was on The Man Show.
Right, on The Man Show with Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
And I never watched it because I thought it was juvenile. It was on in the...
That's why I watched it.
Well, yeah.
The girls on the trampolines in slow motion, I thought...
The Juggies? That's what they were called, the
Is that what they were
Juggies.
called?
Yeah.
That was funny as hell. I like The Man Show.
He's a far cry from the
But I'm more of an Adam Carolla fan than I am a Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, me too. Today, I never watched it. I never got into it. I don't really watch his show now. I don't watch late night television.
Oh.
Letterman left, and there's no interest in it for me anymore. But the other thing he did on that show, and we don't have a clip of it, but he would play Karl Malone, the basketball player, and get in blackface and put on a bald wig and wear stuff on his arms and hands that made him look like a black guy. And he'd do Karl Malone. Karl Malone is all the blah, blah, blah. And, yeah.
Can you imagine if he did that now?
This wasn't even 20 years ago, man. Almost 20 years ago. But he would
and
be...
if somebody else did it, he would be on them like white on rice.
Now, yeah.
I shouldn't say
You shouldn't
white
say
on
white because some rice is brown.
Well, I didn't want to offend the brown people.
But it's wild.
How about yellow rice?
Yeah. Oh, that's... Just
God.
say... You're supposed to say saffron rice. Listen to
Like
you.
stink on shit.
Doo-doo.
I can say it because Tito did.
Yeah,
earlier.
Tito said shit.
Let's see.
That's the only one you're getting out of me.
6:20 and 6:45.
Right.
Shady B's got to edit. By the way, we podcast these shows.
We do?
I haven't lately. I've been very bad.
Okay.
I forget.
You're right.
But we podcast these YouTube streams. We podcast them on WSBRadio.com. If you go to the on-demand section, scroll down, you'll find Tim and Shani B Experiment.
Now, I'm not one of those people, Shani B, that thinks people should be punished for things that happened 20 years ago if it's, an innocent crime. Comedy was different then. Standards were different then. But he is kind of a hypocrite. And my point of that being is anybody that's... You're seeing that video being shared on Twitter and other social media, not by Democrats, mostly by people who have MAGA in their title, or they have Trump, I love Trump. So you're seeing pushback from that side of the aisle. These people are hypocrites. I don't know if it'll do any damage to him, though. I know Ben Affleck's been apologizing left and right on Twitter, because every time he apologizes, some other chick says, I'm sorry, some other lady said, what are the proper terms? Some broad comes on there and says, hey, this guy touched me wrong. Hey, well, maybe you shouldn't wear such a short skirt. No, I don't believe that, of course.
I don't know. But
Affleck's in trouble.
The only reason why I'm bringing this up as well.
Affleck's in trouble.
Videos, is just for the hypocrisy of the thing. Affleck will bounce back. Everybody will bounce back. The people that don't bounce back are the right of center types in Hollywood.
Right, definitely.
Whatever's left. But,
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson's a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
They got to claw their way back up. Mel Gibson did step in a lot of...
Well, he had a lot of help from Jodie Foster. He was kind of her mentor and kind of raised her, which I didn't know.
Seems like everything happened after Passion of the Christ.
Yeah. What's your point?
I think it all began there. That he was a little too far right for
Hollywood.
For Hollywood, and
I thought you were going to go down some conspiracy.
No, just and because that whole thing was fairly accurate biblically about the Passion of Jesus. So
well, at least the Passion play.
Yeah,
definitely.
And so, you got to take him down a notch. But wasn't he making comments about Jewish people?
Yeah, he was terrible.
He was drunk or something.
No,
it was like some rage. He was something where he was on a rant.
He called Winona Ryder an oven dodger. Yeah, that's not very cool. And then he did that.
I'm sure she cleans her oven, or at least has the help do
it. His wife at the time, she was, I don't know what she was doing. She recorded him making all those tapes, or he was losing his mind. That was the last thing, where he was saying the N-word and just being completely racist.
Right.
And that made it out into the public.
That's right.
And that's when he was done. But he's back now.
He is.
Heartbreak
It
Ridge.
took a long time. Ben Affleck will be back a lot sooner.
Well, Ben Affleck's had a lot of trouble. He has the thing going on now. Casey Affleck had trouble, his brother. And also, their ancestors were slave owners, which for some reason he had to atone for.
He should.
I don't know about that. I mean, it was like 200 years ago, 100 years ago.
Can't control that.
Anyway.
Hey, Retrospect window.
Huh?
Check that out.
What's that?
Right there.
Oh, hi, Retrospect window.
You guys rock. Keep experimenting.
We will. Thank you, Retrospect
Thank you.
window.
This is as far as our experimentation goes.
Tim Conway? Creepy?
Tim Conway.
Tim Conway's not watching. Dorf. Dorf himself is watching this show.
Now that all sorts of shit is coming out, what to believe and what's crap and what's not.
He's drunk. Who's drunk? Leslie N., are you drunk?
Of the kill.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for all these allegations coming out about a ton of different actors and not actresses, but actors, and see how it affects them. Because, what you're seeing is people on the right of center, are pushing this to the forefront, and news is finally covering it.
And too bad the political types they should be really shoving this through.
Yeah.
Republicans should take from the Democrat playbook, jump and seize on the opportunity. Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Exactly.
And showcase it. A lot of people are outraged at this kind of stuff.
Right.
Especially women.
I remember back when Clinton got in trouble, 98-ish, with the Monica Lewinsky thing. I didn't care. I was like, leave him alone. He can do whatever he wants in the White House. Now, I don't think that he pressured her to do it. I think she was willing to do it. But back then, you don't impeach the president for that. And I still would say the same thing.
Now, wasn't he impeached for lying?
He was impeached for lying,
So,
yes.
I don't know. It
Didn't work, though.
Oh, wow. There's 10 minutes left in the show here, and I'm getting buzzing in my ears of a... Oh, our producers are trying to get the White House on the line.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So that's good.
Who's our producer? Jared Yamamoto?
Mr. Jameson, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Mr. Jameson.
Tito Jameson.
Tito Jameson, he's smoking a joint and drinking some Jameson and putting our show together behind the scenes, behind the padded walls here. And we really appreciate the team effort.
You guys can come out when you do a funny show.
It really does take a team effort. You know, Tim, I don't know why I screwed up my stuff here. Oh, maybe I didn't. Anyway. So let's move on here while I get some things set up, because I'm working with Tito Jameson. He's talking in my ears here, trying to get some things squared away.
Mm-hmm. I'll just stare awkwardly.
Do you
at the
watch
wall.
anything on BET?
No.
Is that not your channel?
No, I don't watch BET.
Why not? Are you racist?
Because there's nothing on it that.
Is
No,
it
I'm
your
not
white
racist.
privilege?
No, I don't watch Mundo Hispanico.
Well, because then you missed out.
I do
on
watch
something.
Telemundo because they have all those hot ladies on their shows. No, that's Univision.
I like to watch
Sábado Gigante.
Oh no, where did you go? Oh, there you are. I enjoy watching the Spanish soap operas.
Yeah,
because I like to just imagine. I just kind of create the plot myself.
Mhm.
I figure out what the hell's going on.
You ever watch Jane the Virgin?
No.
On UPN or one of those networks. That's a good show. It's very funny.
Jane the Virgin.
Mhm.
No. But anyway,
Are we good?
we are good. But I wanted to kind of set this thing up here. Why don't you just move the damn thing? There. We're trying to get things ready for our next segment. Eminem. He was on the BET Awards.
Right.
It was the Hip Hop Awards, I believe. First solo appearance, Eminem wearing a dark hooded sweatshirt and baseball cap. Name drops Colin Kaepernick. Oh, God. Okay. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Stephen Bannon. Going through a whole array of Donald Trump rants, or raps, I guess you should say. Well, there you have it. There you have it. And we are fortunate. We are blessed on the West.
His science is weak.
Mr. Trump, Mr. President, I am so thrilled and honored to have you here on the Tim and Shani B Experiment.
I am very happy to be here, Shani B.
Oh.
Also, Tim, I like both of you. You're great. Thank you very much for supporting me. Eminem stands for Major Moron.
Oh, that's I would imagine you feel rather passionately about all this.
I think he's a jerk, and I'll tell you why I think he's a jerk, because his science is lame. He cannot lay down bars anymore. He's washed up.
Well, Mr. Trump,
Are you ready to hear my response?
do you have a response?
Oh, yeah. I got a diss track.
This will be a huge deal
It'll be huge.
for the Tim and Shani B Experiment. We might even be on TMZ or something.
Right, maybe.
Go ahead and speak your mind, Mr. President.
You're a washed-up rapper. Career in the crapper. Wasn't nothing without Dre. And I suspect you might be gay. You're a lover of Obama. You're a little piece of caca. You dissed me, not just once but twice. Shut your mouth, Vanilla Spice. That's right, you're such a baby. You remind me of a lady. Of the evening on her knees for the globalist sleaze. Eminem is foolish, talking Frankfurt schoolish. Little Marxist with a tude, dropping bars. You're very rude. You can't see it, but I just dropped the mic.
Mr. Trump, that was very passionately stated.
Thank you, Shani B. And look, Eminem, if you want to talk to me, you can come to the White House. We'll talk. Melania will make you a chicken pot pie out of the freezer because we fired the cook. He was terrible. The chef was awful at the White House.
I can't imagine Melania being a good cook.
She's not.
I meant the First Lady. I didn't mean any disrespect,
She's a
Mr.
terrible
President.
cook. Chicken pot pie. Swanson. It's my favorite.
Banquet's also good when they're
Banquet?
10 for
Banquet
$1.
is made in China.
It's a little bit of lead, a little
Swanson is made right here in Swanson, Wisconsin. The #1 Swanson frozen foods. Don't buy anything. Bird's Eye can suck it.
Well, Maybe they will. I don't know these days.
I don't know. Did they hang out with Harvey Weinstein?
That's a good question. In fact, when you
why do my lips look so brown?
I don't know. You don't have your good Cheeto orange that we all know and love. Mr.
Maybe
President.
Tim Andrews should shave.
Whoa.
Maybe.
Hey, there we go. A little bit better.
Any more questions?
Well, let's see here. Just a quick mention. You
where can I hear
used
you?
The power of the pen
right
on Obamacare. You pretty much neutered the thing without.
What did I do?
Well, you pretty much declared the rule of law, which is that the United States Congress is the only body in the government that can make appropriations. So
they hold the purse. They hold the purse.
Obamacare had the
subsidies.
Yeah, for the Treasury funneling money to healthcare insurers.
Correct.
To offset the cost of Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
But that isn't really the way it works. You said that stops. Have Congress appropriate it, and then we can talk.
Why do we even have a constitution if the president isn't going to follow it? Also, Congress, get off your lazy butts.
Well, I have to hand it to you. Congress has been in your way. In the House, you've had the Freedom Caucus in the way because nothing was conservative enough. And over in the Senate, you have just
Little Rand Paul. Little Rand Paul.
Well, Little Rand Paul likes this idea that you did.
Yeah, I know.
Because it absolutely screws up Obamacare to the point to where you are going to have to repeal and replace it.
I hope that we can get him on board for repeal and replace, because I know John McCain, well, we might not have to worry about him anyway.
Well, John McCain didn't even have to get off his butt to fight anything because you had the power of the pen, Mr.
What
President.
about Jeff Flake? He's a flake.
Yes.
I want him to lose. I don't care who beats him. I got my good friend Roy Moore, Judge Roy Moore in Alabama. I wanted the other guy, Luther, whatever.
Oh, are you going to pardon his son? His son was arrested.
Whose son?
Roy Moore.
For what?
It was something like fishing without a license or hunting on private property.
I'll pardon him.
They hauled him
My
off.
boys like to hunt. They kill gazelles and giraffes in Africa. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Specifically,
Trophy.
Eric, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think. Well, you should keep tabs on your children. They're fascinating.
They're
people.
grown men. I don't need to worry about them. All I worry about is Ivanka and my son Barron and the daughter that you never see on TV because she's not pretty.
I always see her on the bottoms of websites. The daughter that you don't want me to know about.
Oh yeah, those clickbait slideshows.
Yes.
Here's Trump's daughter that he hides. And then it takes a half an hour to get to the picture of her. She's the daughter of Marla Maples. The worst mistake I ever made in my life.
Mr. Trump, your previous wife, Ivana.
She's
got a book out, and she's making the rounds, pushing her book. She called herself the real First Lady.
Well, she meant she was the first lady to marry me, not the first lady. Even though Melania got very upset. Very, very upset. So I told Ivana, you don't get that $1 million this month.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
Because
I don't think she's going to make $1 million off her book.
Have you seen her lately? She looks like the clown from It.
She
didn't age well. She's not like me.
Her plastic surgery hasn't aged well either.
Don't I look like I swim in the fountain of youth?
Yes, the fountain of orange youth. Mr. Trump, we are right up against the clock. We need to wrap it up here.
All right. Thank you for having me on, Shaney B.
Thank you so much, and for making America indeed
And
great
keep
again.
experimenting. I mean, really. And you're never going to get it right unless you experiment.
We will keep experimenting.
It's
Thank
Pride
you.
Weekend. Experiment.
Wow. All right. Hey, take what you can get.
That's right.
What are you doing, Lee?
Hey, take what you can get. And get it while you can, the great Janis Joplin used to say.
Yes. Used to say. That was before she became dead.
Yeah, well, too much wild turkey and heroin.
Speaking of dead.
The show's over?
The show's over.
Yeah.
This show is hooves up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Be sure to like our various things. I was going to put a graphic up, but I can't because I...
More experimenting this week.
Ta-da! I'm a little rusty. It's been a couple weeks, but we'll be back next Saturday, right?
Right.
What the hell?
Why not?
Saturdays live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the Tim and Shaney B Experiment. Thank you so much for tuning in today.